Hi Sagittarius, this is Michelle coming at you with Page of Wands Tarot and Oracle, and I'm here with your Twin Flame Divine Love reading for the month of August. If you joined me last time for July, thank you so much for stopping back. I've got all my personal information in the description box if you are interested in checking that out, or you can go to my Facebook and Instagram pages as well. But I'm going to get right into these readings. I am using this time the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, and I'm going to lay 3 cards down on the left for the masculine and 3 cards down on the right for the feminine. And I did already meditate and shuffle over these cards just so meditate and shuffle the cards just so you know. And I'm also going to do 2 connecting energy cards in the middle as well. Okay, so bear with me one moment while I finish laying these out. I hope you guys had a really good July. You know what? I totally forgot to go to the July video I posted for you and sort of refresh my memory on what the energies we were talking about last time and what we were working on. And I feel that that's useful when we look at whether or not we've made progress and we look at things that still need work or things that have actually progressed, which is always nice to see as well, right, when we make progress. But I'm going to go with it. I'm a little bit short on time tonight. I have to get a lot of these videos out, so I'm just going to dive straight into it. And if I move around a lot, guys, I'm sorry. I'm nursing a Zumba knee injury that I just yogaed on top of, so I'm a little bit sore. Anyway, so the first one we have for the Divine Masculines, this is the Magician in reverse, and there are a few different things that come up with this card. The first thing is that there could be a situation that you're forcing. And that is sort of the first thing that comes to my head, that something is sort of being forced and it's not being manifested in the way, in like a natural, organic way. The Magician card is all about action, right? It's all about having that intent and using our abilities and the tools in our toolbox and our skills and our talents to help manifest the dreams that we want and make them a reality here, you know, on planet Earth. But when this guy is in reverse, a lot of times I see this as a need to rest and a need to stop. It's almost like the universe giving you a stop. Like, whatever you're doing isn't working, dude. You know, it's just not working. And this can get to the point, and we'll see when we put clarifiers down, but this can get to the point where it almost takes on a manipulative energy, and we definitely want to stay away from that, okay? So, Sag Masculines, this is how you're feeling about yourself, right? That's the position this is in. So perhaps it could be that you feel as if you've been working really, really hard towards something, trying to manifest it, just trying to make it work, and you are just like, it's at the point where maybe there's a little bit too much control and you're not using your tools in the right way, okay? Or the work has already been done and you need to stop now and step away and let the universe come in and do its magic. You're done being the magician for now, okay? That's the first thing I get. Now, how you feel towards your feminine is the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So what this tells me is that you feel like, for whatever reason, there is no foundation. There's no, this is in the upright, all about a seed that's been planted, and it has the ability to grow over the years, right? You see all the rings on the trunk of this tree trunk, with that sort of 5-pointed seed star in the middle. That reminds me a lot of an apple seed. You know how an apple in the core has a 5-pointed star made out of the seeds. And it's all about, you know, to me it represents everything. It's like the full culmination of everything. It also represents fertility. It represents knowledge. So here, there's a lack of all of that, right? There's no firm foundations, nothing keeping this situation or perhaps your relationship rooted for whatever reason. So you may be feeling like maybe your feminine isn't offering this to you, or you may just feel like whatever it is she's doing in her life right now and however it is she's carrying on is not good for her. Like, it's not affording her solid foundations that can be built upon into something that's going to eventually bear fruit, in the sense where it will bring her a sense of stability with her health and her wealth, her finances and her job and her home life. Okay? And then underneath that is the Fool card. And this is your new beginning card, right? And I've been talking a lot about how we finally shifted into July and how we've had this sort of massive cosmic clearing out finally of all those like negative, gross, black tentacle energies from 2016, right? That year that nobody liked. And we're in this new year now. We're in a 1 year. And so that speaks to new beginnings. And this is a major arcana card here. And so I think this is all about you're kind of feeling like maybe tapped out a little bit and maybe a little bit burned out. And like there's no foundation going on with something that has to do with your feminine. And so therefore it's time for you to kind of like peace out, right? Like just start something completely new. All right. What I'm also getting is that there could already be a new beginning here. If you've been estranged from your feminine, or if there's been a break because you haven't been able to pull this relationship into alignment and find the harmony and balance with it, the universe could be telling you that you don't need to try so hard anymore, and you don't need to worry about this lack of foundation because we have a new beginning here. All right, feminines. The first card I have for how you're feeling about yourself is the Hanged Man in reverse. And I was like seeing the Hanged Man in reverse because it kind of just gives me a little bit of a chuckle, because I'm like, wow, you know, how could there be a bigger conundrum than an upside down man hanging right side up, right? A guy that's supposed to be upside down hanging right side up. So when I see the Hanged Man in reverse, what this tells me is that you are lacking perspective on something. You've not taken the time to really step back from a situation, remove yourself from it first and foremost. See how he's kind of got his wings around him, like he's sort of cocooned and protecting himself, and he's just kind of peering out. That's because he has removed himself from the situation. So there's a need here for you to remove yourself from whatever it is going on and stop and think about what's really going on and gaining perspective and thinking about something perhaps also that you may need to let go, because a lot of the time the Hangman card does come with a sacrifice that needs to be made. If this rings true for you, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that you already know what that thing is. You just are finding it really hard to separate yourself from it, or you don't want to. Underneath that, how you feel about your masculine is the Ten of Swords in reverse. So this card is all about rock bottom's basement, right? This is kind of like, this could be speaking to like a lot of betrayal or a lot of just really bad situations that have happened in your life, a lot of mental turmoil, a lot of depression, a lot of negative self-talk, negative thoughts of paranoia. It could also be other people speaking badly about you. It could be about just bad turn of events over and over again. And the 10, when I see it reversed, I don't like it so much. In the upright, it doesn't really bother me actually, because it tells me, actually, a lot of times these can kind of get blurred, whether it's upside down or right side up, because again, it's a 10 card. So this is kind of like the end, right? When you're in rock bottom's basement, there's nowhere to go but up. But when I see it turned like this, I feel this is a stuck energy with this turmoil. And I also feel that you are maybe perpetuating some of this yourself. Okay? No offense, ladies, feminines, whoever resonates with feminines, whether you're masculine or feminine. In real life, it doesn't really matter. But I don't mean to sound harsh, but when I see this upside down, I definitely think there's a call to look within and to say, okay, what is it that, I'm not stepping away from and seeing from a different perspective? What needs to be changed? What sacrifice needs to be made? Because it's keeping you here, stuck in this basement. And it's musty, and there's rats down there, and it's scary, and we don't want to be there anymore, right? So we need to look and see what it is we can change and how we need to have this different perspective. And then right under that, I get the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands, this is like your card of stability, stable foundations. right? And like in foundations, in the sense where this card is a foundation that has to do with your career and your spirituality and something tangible that nourishes you, right? It's like kind of like where your wealth comes from. This card is more creatively centered and also attached to your relationships and how you relate to other people, because this is a wand suit. And with the wand suit, I always get root chakra. And root chakra has to do with our relationships to others and how we feel grounded in our everyday lives. So if you're not feeling grounded, this would be like you lost your house, okay? Or you're going to lose your lease on your apartment and you have to move out and you have nowhere to go. Or you've been couch surfing for 4 months or 4 weeks or something, and it's just really getting tired because you have no sense of self, because you don't have roots anywhere, right? And then, you know, on top of it, you've got this situation that you need to gain new perspective on, and you have been feeling like you've got 10 swords in your back. So this isn't going to help matters, okay? And this is sort of like the underlying energy here. So I feel like whatever it is you need to work towards is whatever it is that's going to make you feel like you have these really sturdy foundations. This could also be about needing to set boundaries within yourself. Now, I would like to point out, too, that this is how you feel about your masculine ladies. I'm sorry. So this may actually be that you feel that they are perpetuating their own depression, right? Or it could be that your masculine's making you feel this way. This is really what you're attributing your pain to. You're attributing your pain to him. Or you think that he's playing the victim role. And he's the one perpetuating his own unfortunate life circumstances because of his attitude, and that's keeping him and his behaviors, and that's keeping him here. Or this is how he's making you feel, and now it's at a point where you can't like let that go, and so it's just like you're internalizing it, okay? But whichever one makes more sense to you, there's definitely that call for a new perspective, okay? Now, you're combining energies in the middle here. I get the 3 of Cups. And this is all about celebrations and happiness and joy. And what's really funny is right underneath that is the 5 of Pentacles. And this card is all about, I call this the poverty card. It's a poverty awareness card is what I call it. And this could be spiritual poverty. This could be poverty in, again, like a situation where, for some of you, you may have lost your house or your apartment. I'm going to say that again because this is like being left out in the cold. And this is a breakdown of foundations and like home life. So I'm getting a very much like a not having a sense of home or not feeling rooted, you know, which can really fuck things up in terms of your feeling stable on the inside and feeling confident. And what this could also be is just feeling like you've lost everything, you know, like I just don't have anything. And masculines, I want to play to this too. This card, with how you're feeling about your feminine, with there's no foundation, again, this may have to do with something about drifting around or not settling down. That could very much be what this is about as well. Okay? Not settling down, not making up her mind in terms of what she wants and what would create stability for her. She doesn't know how to define the foundations she needs and her boundaries. That could very much be going on, okay? Because of how you feel, that's how you feel towards her, and then she has this in her root. And also, you guys could just feel freaking exhausted from this, and like, I've done everything I can, and I'm done. I can't fix this person. I'm over it, you know? But what's so interesting is we've got this joy card, right? Combining these spreads. And I just want to say that I feel like maybe there is a call here for you guys to sort of stop worrying so much and stop trying so hard and realize that maybe the universe is kind of going to hand you this anyway, and this can be this situation isn't as bad as it seems. There's cause to celebrate here. There's something that has cause for joy, or this has to do with needing to be social, all right, and needing to rely on your friends and your family and the people that will listen to you, and really relying on that support group, because it's right above this feeling left out in the cold. So I think that there is a need here to be social and call on the ones you love, and try to go out and get yourself out of this state of frustration, or this state of just sort of like anger and like pain and whatever it is that you are both experiencing. That's a lot to unpack. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull some clarifiers for this as well. And guys, if you haven't checked it out either, I do full and new moon readings. They're kind of fun. I call it Wine and Spirits TV. So if you're into that kind of thing, you like to drink wine and just like listen to tarot readings and find out what kind of energies we're working with when those full and new moons come around, then feel free to check those out as well. I'm going to take a quick sip of my tea. Okay. So masculines, let's look. Wow. Feminines. All right. Masculines, you got the Five of Swords on top of this Magician in reverse. And it's just funny because it's kind of exactly what I was thinking. This has to do with conflict. This has to do with a lot of differing opinions and a lot of conflict. But what I find so interesting in this deck is that this worm is cutting itself in half. All right. So it's kind of like when it's in the upright, it's like the conflict that actually hurts you more than the other people, right? It's like engaging in the battle is actually what's causing you the harm. In the reverse, I see this as no more. So this energy moving out. So you've got, again, this like stop action, stop doing what you're doing. You're done. You can't fix this person, or you can't fix this situation. It needs to work itself out. And again, we've got that conflict in reverse here, like no more. Right? We're not fighting anymore because we're just going to cut ourselves in half, but that energy is moving out because I think you are choosing to step away. And then on top of the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Sun in reverse. Interesting how these cards almost look alike. And this card to me really in this deck represents freedom, enlightenment, spirituality, pure joy. Okay, so in this position, there's a hopelessness here, and also a lack of being able to see something in its full light. All right, a lack of something really that could be so beautiful and has potential to be brilliant, being able to fully come into form and shine. But there's a cloud over the sun. This card is never bad, even in the reverse. It's just that something hasn't been revealed yet, or there's kind of a cloud covering it. So you've got almost like this great potential, and you've got this great joy and light, but they're both being muted for some reason, and this is what has having to do with your feminine. So I think you're thinking that she is in the dark here, and she's just not in a pleasant situation right now, and it's you know, kind of dimming her sun. All right, and then for the New Beginnings card, you have on the Fool card, you have the Nine of Pentacles, and this card is all about being able to really revel in the things that you've built and the way you've made your money, but it's in the reverse here. So what this tells me is that you're not feeling like you're making money in the best way possible for you. You're not feeling like that, you know, super kind of dapper guy that has all of your stuff going on, and you've got a job that pays you well, and you've got, you know, a stable home life, a nice apartment, a nice car, all that stuff, spending money, you know, all those things that would make you feel like, okay, I can have self-worth and confidence and go out and date and be, you know, this sort of like hot bachelor. You're not feeling that, and I think it's because you are thinking of a new beginning with your job, with your career, because the one you have has not been fulfilling, and it's just not going to make you successful. So again, when I say that we have this new beginning energy that's really being sanctioned by the universe, I feel that that is something for everybody that we all need to take advantage of. So when this is showing up for me and I see this, which often to me tells me we're not being the happy single person, we don't feel beautiful, we don't feel or you know, like we're good looking, maybe we haven't been paying attention to our health or our appearance all that much for whatever reason because we've been in a dark state, and that needs to change. And if you have a job that's not making you feel fulfilled and like you can have all the things you want, then that needs to change. And you have this there's a new energy here that can really help with that if you take the opportunity to do it. Okay. It's either that or, yeah, I really do think that pertains to you. But your feminine's kind of got the same sort of thing going on with this lack of foundation, right? And this possibly just not feeling like grounded and connected. And then, so on the top of the Hangman in reverse and this needing to see something in a new perspective that possibly contains a sacrifice, I said that that feminines, I believe you know what this is. And I got the sword of truth there on top of it, which this card to me is always about mental clarity, right? I don't think your vision is clouded, even though your sun might be, your joy might be a little bit clouded right now. Not that it's totally hopeless, even though I think that's how one or both of you is feeling. I think you know the truth, and you're just kind of refusing to see it and hang upside down and look at that different perspective and see what that thing is that may need to be sacrificed. And then how you're feeling towards your masculine is the Six of Swords in reverse on top of another swords. So I feel like you think that he is not walking away from a negative situation and changing his life for the better and moving towards calmer waters and more stable ground. And for whatever reason, that might have something to do with this. Okay? I just got controlling in my head. Like you think that he's controlling because of this. And he's going to stop this fighting and stuff. But, like, that's almost what has been causing you to feel like this. And then also not moving towards, he's not moving towards away from something and into something better. Yeah, I don't know, because a lot of my readings I feel are for twin flames and separation, and a lot of times, statistically speaking, it is the masculine that's running, and it's the feminine that's chasing. So it's interesting to me that I got that in my head, or maybe you think something is controlling him. That's possible too, but that just is what came into my, that there's a control issue. All right, maybe the control issue is what is not allowing your masculine to walk away onto something better. And that is really causing this sort of self-sabotage. Right under that, on top of your Four of Wands in reverse, I get Strength in reverse. So this goes two ways for me. Obviously, the obvious thing is to say, okay, well, you know, you need to call on strength, and maybe you're not exhibiting strength, or you're feeling very weakened in this situation, and like you just aren't in power, all right? Like you don't have control over it. You don't, you know, you're kind of like sad and feel a little bit just pathetic, like you can't be this great, prideful, beautiful lion with that divine wisdom and love there, right? Like you're just feeling like an abused animal a little bit, maybe. Which, based on these cards, I wouldn't find that to be, you know, so far-fetched or hard to believe, because I really am sensing on the feminine side here just a lot of mental conflict and a real static instability, right? And it's kind of giving me anxiety just looking at it. And the masculine almost feels like she doesn't have her shit together and she needs to figure that out. And maybe you even think that she knows the answer, but she's not admitting it, which is why the sun is in reverse. And you've done everything you can do and you're tired of fighting. So you're not going to do that anymore. And you're going to move on yourself with your new beginning and figure out how to make better career choices or start a new job or whatever, bring in money in a different way. So again, I just find it so interesting you guys have this Three of Cups joining energy here. There's something to celebrate here, but it's like you're not seeing it. And maybe that's what the masculine is trying to say to his feminine here too, like you're just not seeing it. You're not seeing that there's joy here and that you have people here to love you and help you. Maybe you're refusing help, feminines. If you have lost like a job or, an apartment or a home or something that made you feel really, really stable, maybe it's because maybe you're not taking help, right? You're being like really stubborn about it. Because sometimes it does take a lot of strength for us to admit when we need help, right? To reach out to people that we love and communicate how we're feeling, which is pretty fucking shitty, you know? The other thing I get with this is when we are not taming our inner animals and we are letting, maybe we're getting carried away a little bit with lust or something like that, where we're not really making wise choices when it comes to our sexuality. But that for me, I'm just not getting that one so much. I'm getting this one more as like a just real feeling of helplessness, right? Small, scared, wounded kitty cat, not big, beautiful, prideful lion. Okay? All right, let's clarify with some oracle cards. I'm really sorry to give you a reading that seems just sort of negative. But again, this is just the energy that I'm picking up for August. So nothing stays constant, right, guys? Everything is constantly shifting and changing. So I don't want anyone to get upset over this and think that this is never going to work itself out, because it will. And honestly, a lot of times we need to go through these periods where we can say, you know what? Oh yeah, I stepped back from the situation. I stepped back. I hung myself upside down. I looked at it from a different perspective, and I get it. I know the truth, right? My masculine thinks I'm great. It's foundation and hope and light and joy there, but it's not able to shine. This sun cannot shine on this seed and help it grow because there's too many swords going on here. There's self-sabotage. There's not walking away from something that's not serving you. There's, a little bit of a controlling element and a little bit of a manipulation element, and there's a breakdown of foundations that's left us feeling very poor and sad. All right? And not rooted in our sense of self. The scared kitty cat. Okay? So sometimes these things help us get to a better place, right? But I think there's a real need here to call on your family and friends to help you. If you're feeling a little bit low and you're feeling a little bit dark, we've all had to do that at some point in our lives, or most of us have, I definitely have. So it's nothing to be ashamed of with that, okay? I'm just going to put that out there. All right. So first one I'm drawing, this is off of my Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck. These cards are one of my favorites. I bonded with this deck right away. Masculines, we have gratitude. Be thankful for what you have, please. Okay? I know you guys are normally very amiable, accepting, optimistic people, but you're also idealistic, and maybe we're taking that a little too far, okay? So why don't we be thankful for these 3 beautiful cups we have, this family and friend relationships that we have, and why don't we be thankful for our new beginning? Because it's here for you if you want to use it, okay? And try to have gratitude toward your feminine as well, and understand that she is just as much a part of your journey as you are hers. And if you feel she's doing things that are doing her a disservice, or she's causing her own pain, or holding you back from something, please keep this in mind. Okay? We're going to focus on romantic love, because I see that pink rose. And I don't know. Those remind me of love so much more than red. I don't know why, but like a softer love. Less passion, more sweet. Right? Alright. Feminines. How fitting. You got perception, right? 100% what is needed here is your perception. Hang upside down. Look at things from a different... Take a step back. Right? That's what I keep saying. You have got to remove yourself from this situation. Take a step back and find out what you're missing. Because there's a truth here, and I think you know what it is, but you are not really perceiving it in the right way. Okay? So when this comes up, I think it's all about either you're struggling with how you want to see something, or you're just not quite perceiving it in the right way. All right. 2 more, and then we're done. I am trying to keep these readings within about the 30-minute mark, so I apologize. They run a little bit long. I'm just going to cut twice with these for Sagittarius. Wow, okay. I'm just going to stop right there. Very, very interesting. Just give me 1 second. Okay. I'm pulling 2 because the one that I pulled for masculines was so funny. I'm like, I have to put a clarifier with this just to make sure I wasn't too hasty in my shuffling. So we're going to work with the energies we got. All right? I'll explain it in a second. Feminines, I'm doing the same thing for you. Great. Perfect. Okay. Masculines, I got embrace the masculine and nourish the soul. That's the first time I've ever gotten embrace the masculine for the masculine. But what I want to say this is telling you is to connect a little bit more with your power energy, right? And do that by nourishing your soul. This isn't about having force. It's not that kind of masculine energy. It's more of like, take control of your situation when it comes to you. Don't stop worrying about what is going on with your feminine, and stop being judgmental about that, and stop trying to like fix that situation. Okay? It needs to fix itself, and you need to worry about you and embrace yourself here. All right? And do something that's going to nourish your soul. And again, I get that with this needing to change something. That might be your career. Feminines, I got reveal your truth there with the mask, and time to reflect, which again, we've got this taking a step back and looking at something from a different angle, reflecting. Now with the reveal your truth, I feel like this might be playing a little bit into this lion guy that we know you are, that you're not letting out, right? And that this may have to do a little bit with something that maybe you're holding back. And maybe that has to do with the sacrifice and this truth that you know, but for whatever reason isn't making its way out into the forefront because you are refusing to hang upside down and perceive this in the right way. And you're refusing to make, there's probably a sacrifice that you're not making. And, there may be a little bit of fear involved here, which may have to do with this lion being upside down, and because you maybe think that whatever this thing is, either that you need to sacrifice or something that just kind of like needs to come out and be known, like whatever this truth is maybe going to offend people or hurt people, or you don't really know how that's going to make you look, or you're not saying how you feel. And that would be the Reveal Your Truth card. Wow. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back with your September readings in about a month. And until then, I hope you have a great day. And leave me a comment, feedback, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. But if you leave me thumbs down, just make sure you tell me why. And that way I know why you didn't like the video. And definitely if it resonated with you, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much again. Have a great day. Bye.